Guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video is technology ruining the music industry. And the reason why I bring this up is I was listening to a buddy's podcast the other day, and he made a great point that remember when you were kids or your mom was kids. I'm saying probably you'd have to be at least 28 to 30 probably to remember this kind of thing, where when you were a kid or you want to show your friend an album, you would actually go out and give them that physical copy of that like Metallica album. Go, check this out, dude, it's awesome. And you could explain to your kids or to your friend why this album is good. You like the booklet, you like the way it has the words in there, so you could read the words to the song and sing along to it. You can understand when you read, you go, oh, James Hetfield wrote this riff 3 different ways, and Lars was the guy who told him to do a pinch harmonic at this certain section, and that's what happened. Nowadays, it's just an MP3 file, and with an MP3 file, guys, you cannot share that with your friends. You can't just take the MP3 file and go, yo, look at the booklet, dude, because a lot of people nowadays don't care about the booklet, the artwork, nothing. And with a vinyl record or a CD, the music sounds a hell of a lot better. But people nowadays go, well, the MP3 sound good too. Well, you're only listening through your Apple crappy earbuds. You're not really getting the sound quality that the actual album is supposed to sound like. An actual album is supposed to sound, you like when you listen to music, back in the old days, on a big stereo, you would hear that bump and that thump. You'd hear that doom, doom, doom. You'd hear the bass. And I listen to Apple earbuds when I'm in the gym because they're just more convenient than listening to like a Dr. Dre Beats. But when you listen to Dr. Dre Beats, you get that bump and you get that thump that the music is supposed to deliver. But at the end of the day, do you guys think it is stupid that technology is making people less likely to go out and buy albums, less likely to really hear new up-and-coming artists, and they're being focused on, I want one song by this band and one song only, because Rob Flynn of Machine Head said that too. He said, well, everybody should just start putting out one-hit songs and that's it, and stop releasing albums because nobody wants albums. It don't matter if it's metal music or if it's pop music, no one wants that album. And he should know more than anybody because he's in the music industry and he's producing music for the last 10 years. And for me, I remember as a teenager going into the record store and actually talking and having music conversations with people about this artist sounding like that artist. Or I remember when I got out of high school and my buddies would come over and we would get like the new Pantera record or the new Korn album, and we would be pumped up and put it in my stereo, and we would literally sit there and listen to it from start to finish to the front, every song, and then we would go home and the next day we'd be talking, oh my god, you hear that bass solo? And people were like, what bass solo? And you would go put it on and you would hear that album and your friends get pumped up and you'd get pumped up because you'd be able to hear that music. It's not like nowadays where it's not easy to find new artists. Yes, you can go on YouTube and say metal band, hardcore metal band. But I remember, just for example, I used to come home and I would sit in front of MTV and Headbangers Ball would come on, for example, and it would be like, the new Cannibal Corpse song, and if you never heard of Cannibal Corpse, you'd watch that video and be blown away, and you'd go want to purchase that new album. But for me, I honestly think at the end of the day, I understand where the kids nowadays are going to say, well, dude, Trevor, I could have 10 million songs on my iPod. Are you going to carry 10 million albums around? And you go, well, I see your point. I understand where people put like a crap load of music on their phone or iPad, and they can't carry a lot of CDs around, because remember in the old days you used to carry those booklets around, and I think MP3 quality is very compressed. It does not sound as great, and some of you kids nowadays go, I can't tell the difference between that and a record. Yeah, you definitely can. If you put a vinyl record on that was recorded analog, it was an analog recording, sounds a lot more better than digital recording. Like, there was a producer that came out and said that he actually has an iTunes setting, so it compresses the music for that iTunes setting, and he said when he puts it on his on an actual CD, it's not compressing it as badly as it would for that iTunes former movie. And then go say, well, I downloaded it, I watched it 3 or 4 times, now I'm going to go to the movie store and buy it. That's not the case. You're illegally downloading, and everybody has illegally downloaded some music in their time. I've done it, you've done it, everybody's done it. Maybe the new kids that are coming up that are 12, 15, they're like, what do you do? I just go on iTunes and purchase that stuff. But at the end of the day, I just think music as a whole is not what it once was. Yes, it's bringing more entertainment, it's bringing more local artists and more people who are just making music out of their bedrooms to the mainstream, and more people being able to hear those people. But one thing is, I hate is you got those people who do auto-tune, those people who cannot sing.
They cannot sing a lick. They cannot sing a lick. They cannot sing a lick.
Cannot sing a lick.
And then they have to do auto-tune, and it sounds even more robotic and more stupid. That's why in 2015, the EDM, dubstep, rave music is so freaking popular, because it's so easy for somebody who downloads a program and click on some buttons and make like a hit beat, doom, doom, boom, and then people are like, oh my god, that is so sick, let's go raving, boom, 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 boom. It's like, dude, nobody wants to hear that stupid rave music, and no one wants to sit there for hours and hear the same beat. That's one reason why I don't like rave music, is because it's like, dude, it's 20 minutes later and the song's still going, boom, boom, boom. It's like one song is an hour, and that's why you get an acid trip by when people listen to that music. But let me know in the comment section below, is music as a whole being ruined by technology, or is technology actually making music more accessible to the average person, and the average person doesn't care if it's an MP3, it's being listened to on an iPod or a big ass stereo? I think the vinyl records and CDs, I still like purchasing. I still love supporting the band. I still love going to a record store and buying albums to support the band. And I would rather have all 13 tracks from that new Metallica album, or that new Scorpion CD, than just go on iTunes and buy one or two, and then that like Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven, MP3 to me, go, look at this, look at the album cover, because you can't do that. That's my point. You cannot really get excited about the music. You can show MP3s, which is totally fine, but what happens if your computer crashes? I bought a full album on iTunes once, and the album got deleted because my computer crashed. And did I have the album again? No. That was $10 thrown away. So remember to rate, even if you hate, comment, and subscribe. I'm Trevor, like I said, as always. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and technology, for me, I think has ruined the music industry, because you cannot physically have music conversation with people. Because I remember I used to have music conversation with friends, and recently when I was hanging out with the NDFX, my buddy here on YouTube, we were actually having music conversation. Yes, it was like we were listening to like a hip hop song, and we were all explaining, this guy should work with this dude is phenomenal, he should sound like this guy. And we were having like that music conversation that I remember I used to have when I was in high school with my buddies, who would always talk about music and the new bands and the new artists that were coming up. I remember when my friends first told me about Killswitch Engage. They're like, oh my god, there's this band, Killswitch Engage. I hated that band, I thought they were garbage, but once I sat down and started listening to them, I enjoyed them, and I told my friends, like, hey, thanks for recommending this band, because nowadays you can't really recommend bands because it's hard to even find bands. It's hard to find bands. And I know you can say, well, Killswitch Engage is more of a mainstream type metal band, but it's true. If it wasn't for my friends, I probably would have never heard of them, because they had MTV2, where MTV2 would always play this metal music, and I didn't have MTV2 at the time, so I could never hear Headbangers Ball and actually see these music videos that my friends were always talking about, but I could hear, they could tell me who the band was. And back when I was in high school, you could not go on Google and search these bands up, so you'd have to go to the record store and actually purchase these albums.